see if I can get this right. Let's see what happens. We're back.
We're back. We're here.
And Tony's not here, so yours truly is figuring out the text. So give me one moment. I want to make sure that our Instagram is live. That's right. Look at that.
You did such a good job.
I mean, I hit the right buttons and everything.
You're awesome.
Good morning, everybody. Let's get on here just to make sure that I did do it right. I may not jump the gun here, but let's confirm that I actually did do it right. But I like that you have faith in me.
I do.
That's nice.
There was one week when I came in and Tony wasn't here, and I thought, oh my goodness, we're doomed now. And you did a great job. When I came in and Tony wasn't here, and I thought, oh my goodness.
I just wanted to hear that again where it said you did a good job. I heard it twice.
I was a little confused, but okay.
Good morning. All right, I'll put this up here. Good morning, Janice. Good morning, Martha. Good morning, Barbara.
A lot of people already.
I love it. Feels good to be back. I'll be honest with you. I love quilt shows, but I'm whooped.
It's a lot of work.
I'm still feeling it.
It's like coming home after a really busy vacation.
Yep, to a hot mess. You can't see the classroom, but it is full of
You should show it.
stuff.
Just to impress people.
And I got to turn the camera on.
Never
I don't
mind,
know.
never
I might screw that all up. All right, so I think we're good here.
Well, you got a lot of stuff up here.
Yeah, not too much though.
No, not as much as usual, but
I like that today we're going to just kind of have a conversation about what we've learned and got excited about. At least that's where I'm going to talk about.
Okay.
And then I have some questions because I know you took some classes there.
I did. I had a good time. And I went on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. I could have gone all 4 days. And I opted not to go on Friday. And it was like I was in withdrawal.
Oh.
I couldn't figure out what to do. I was just kind of pacing around. It's kind of sad.
Oh, yeah. Well, you feel like you're missing out on something. Like all the excitement's going on. I know.
And I am a person who just really has a problem with fear of missing out.
I'm the same way. I want to do everything, but then I also enjoy doing nothing at times. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. It was an amazing show. So how many people went to the show? Let's see if anybody's watching. I know the 3 of you that are on there, I believe we saw you there. But I'm curious. It says there's 11 people on. So my apologies if I don't see your name. Maybe you're watching us on Instagram or YouTube. Tony seems to know how to find those comments. I don't really know how. So I will go back and look and make sure that if you do have questions or comments, we respond to them later. Okay. But how many people went to the show? I see a hands up. All right. Yep. Barbara, Martha. I know you did. Good morning, Angelina from Omaha. I doubt that you made it down here for the quilt show, Angelina.
But it would have been a beautiful weekend for you to visit.
Yeah, it was awesome. I think it was like rainy kind of one day-ish, but
I missed that part.
It was probably Friday when you were home, when you weren't there.
No,
one
Saturday.
day it was towards the, Saturday. Yeah, towards the end, but that was it.
Yeah.
The fear is always like, oh gosh, are we going to get rained out? Is it going to deter people from coming? Then again, the Floridians are like, hello, it's Florida.
Yeah.
Rain doesn't scare us.
It took me 6 months of living here before I realized that you do not change your plans if it rains.
No, you just don't.
You just deal with the rain.
That's exactly right. I know you went, Janice, and you had fun. That's awesome. Well, we had a blast. So just in case you have no idea what we're talking about, and this is by chance the first time that you're watching us, that's Joann, and I'm Josh.
Yep. And we're wearing our quilting shirts today.
That's right. I'm going to talk about the shop hop in a minute. You actually got that at the quilt show. So we just came back from the AQS Daytona Beach quilt show. It was 4 days, Wednesday through Saturday, of just classes and vendors and a quilt show that
beautiful quilts.
Yeah, I mean, really. So I love the art quilts. So I'm always like, oh yes, I'm excited about seeing some of the art quilts. I felt there was actually more. Maybe I'm getting quilt shows mixed up because, but where I'm saying is I feel like there was less art quilts this time. Not counting the actual Sakwa art quilt section, but there was some really traditional, what I'll call traditional quilts that were gorgeous.
Yes.
I mean, technique-driven quilts that were, pretty intense, which is awesome. I seem to remember, maybe was last year really art-heavy?
I don't remember, but I know that when you said that you really enjoyed art quilts, my first thought was where did you see them?
Yeah, okay. So maybe I'm mixing.
There wasn't a whole lot there in that category, really. And I think that it probably
could have been Jacksonville too.
I was going to say Jacksonville has a little bit more of the modern quilt guild feel.
Yeah, maybe that's what it was. So yeah, I mean, they're all art. Don't let me, yeah. But the art specific quilts that people are really calling art quilts. Right. That's what I'm always drawn to. But I was kind of blown away. Some of the winners, I saw a good friend of mine, Mary Bauer, who the first year we did Daytona, I believe, we had her quilt. I don't know if you remember, it was the square dance is what it was called. And we had it hanging and we were giving away patterns. And for almost 2 years, people were calling, asking for her pattern.
Really?
She actually had a quilt in this show and she came down and it was so cool to see her. So hello, Mary, if you're watching. That was awesome.
That is cool.
A Kentucky friend. Okay, let's see. Good morning, Maria Louise. 1 year, I will surprise you. That would be awesome. So the quilt behind you, is there a pattern? Yes, there is. This quilt is absolutely gorgeous. We hung it up the first day and sold out of the fabric, so we took it down.
This is just the most gorgeous fabric, and I am sorry that you don't have the fabric anymore.
Well, we have the fabric here.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, we just didn't cut. We took yard cuts to the quilt show, and so we just ran out at the show, and we knew that was going to be problematic because everybody's going to ask for it. It's called Frond Nouveau, and yes, we do have the pattern. If we sold out of the patterns, I can always get them again. But we do have some of the fabric left as well. The panels, I'll have to double check. We could have possibly run out of the panels, but isn't it gorgeous?
It's just beautiful, and Jan did a gorgeous job on it.
Yeah, Jan just killed it in insane time too, by the way. But what an amazing job! And then Debbie came through with a again last minute quilt job that is absolutely stunning.
It's the whole quilt is just beautiful.
It is really so big, as you can tell. It's 97 by 97. Sadly, it's on the floor.
Yeah, who gets this quilt when it's done?
I don't know. Haven't gotten that far.
Maybe you should raffle that off.
Raffle it off. Oh, I don't know. Good morning, Denise. Good morning, Becky. All right. The quilt show was so much fun. You all had fantastic booths. Thank you so much, Louise. Yeah, it was awesome. So we brought our AccuQuilt booth with the demo area. We had the Arrow Kangaroo cabinet booth, and then we brought our fabric, and we had panels and yard cuts and kits and stuff. So it was awesome.
Yeah.
And it was a lot of work, and it's always worth it. And I love being at Daytona because it's basically our backyard. So we see all of our friends. So it's really, really cool. And people who didn't know about us are like, oh, you're not that far.
That's right. You make new friends.
It's fantastic.
And see old ones.
Yeah, absolutely. Good morning, Jan. You went. Awesome. All right. I'm glad. I think most of our friends went because it's close. Why not? At least one day. All right. What should I get into first? How about this? So the number one question that we were asked because we are close is, will you have the same sales in the shop? Well, all last week, if you came to the shop, yes, we honored those specials. But I figured, you know what? There is people, life happens, that couldn't go to the shop. You're like, I knew you were going to do this, right? And technically, we have some stuff left over. So for this entire week, we're going to continue the quilt show specials here in the shop. So if you didn't get a chance to, or you were, maybe like measuring for a cabinet, or you were on the fence and you decided to pull the trigger, call us, we'll honor it. So I can't tell you exactly what that is, but basically all the cabinets are on sale. You got a free chair with some, a free Kiwi storage cabinet with some. We have 1 yard cuts, but we've kind of paired them in 3 yard little bundles just because it's so nice and they look nice together. But we're still going to honor this special, which I think was buy 3, get 1 free.
Buy 3 bundles?
So buy 3, get 1 free.
Oh, okay.
So basically, you buy 3 yards, you get 1 yard free.
Okay.
I think that's what we did.
Well, it's what you're doing now.
That's what we're doing now. I'm pretty sure that's what it was. We've changed it so many times. So we're going to continue that. And we do have, there's 8 totes. So we still have some left over, which is great. Also, AccuQuilt, we had a really killer sale on the Ready, Set, Go bundle, the electric cutter. I don't know why I did this. If you have this and you're looking to upgrade, now's the chance to do it. Now's the time to do it. Also, we have, if you buy one, let's see my cheat sheet, buy one cube die or mat, you get 15% off. 2 is 20, and buy 3 or more, you get 25% off. On top of that, we have the 8-inch companion set, the corners. A lot of people look at this, but they don't pull the trigger. I get it. It's expensive, but I'm telling you, this is an awesome addition if you do have the 8-inch cube, or if you just like these shapes technically. This 30% off because we ended up ordering too many of these. So whoop, whoop.
Okay.
And I couldn't find them, and they're in a tote somewhere, but we have the truck die and then the mermaid die, which is really cute. Those are also 30% off. So the idea is that basically if you didn't get something you wanted, you can come in and we'll still honor that, which is exciting.
30,
I know.
30% off.
Yep.
Good.
Yeah. I mean, and with AccuQuilt, you guys know, we just basically match AccuQuilt.com, and they have sales all the time. They're not 30% off, I can tell you that, but they always have sales. So we're always trying to give you the best deal. I hate the idea that someone wants to shop local, but they have to spend a lot more money. So we try to make it to where you can support your local shop, but also save some dollars.
Yeah. And this, I will say, I'll go right along with Josh. This is an expensive thing, but when you consider 30% off of this price, which I won't say online because I know I'm not supposed to, but it's a great deal. And it's, the shapes are awesome.
It's the 8-inch corners.
Yeah, I'm excited.
So, all right. Maria's got a pre-cuts question mark. Maria, are you telling me, are you asking me if we have pre-cuts, are they still on sale? The answer is yes. I actually don't know what we have left as far as pre-cuts and quilt kits, but if there are any left, sure, why not? Okay. Basically, everything that we had at the show that is left, we will still honor the sale. And then AccuQuilt, we ran out like day one of the most popular things, which is a great problem to have, but we are special ordering those. So you can still come in, even though I don't physically have like a 2.5-inch strip, we'll give you the sale price and then just add it to this huge order that's coming in.
Wow.
And get it to you. So, yeah.
And if you want to take advantage of those prices for your AccuQuilt but you're thinking you're back in that same thing of what do I do with them? There's a club. There is a club,
and it's called the Diehards Club.
The Diehards Club.
Which is such a fun name.
So get your dies and get in the club.
Get inspired. That's the whole idea of all of our clubs. That was. Thank you for bringing that up. Tony would have killed me if you did. Thank you. But no, truthfully, the AccuQuilt has been around for a long time, and a lot of people have had it sitting in the corner, not using it, no inspiration. So that was the main motivation for us to do the club. And there's so many cool dies coming out now, and we paired it with June Taylor, which we literally sold out by day 3. We had 0 June Taylor stuff left.
Wow.
So the June Taylor rep Jill, who was phenomenal, what a treat to have her. She has been with June Taylor for like 30 years, helped like create half of the stuff.
Oh wow.
We didn't realize that. She was very modest and very awesome.
I should have spent more time at your booth.
I mean, well, you were taking classes. But so June Taylor, we will definitely be ordering and having in the store because it is cool and it goes so well with the AccuQuilt. Awesome. It's great. Yeah. Awesome. All right. I saw a bunch of people saying something, so let me make sure I'm not missing anything important. Everything's important. I shouldn't say that. Good morning to everyone. Tatiana, Christy, Donna, pre-cuts. Got that. An electric one is great. Electric one is great to use. Yes, it is. Good morning, Tammy, Sheila. Nice deal for the 8-inch cube. So Denise, it's not the full cube, just FYI, it is the companion set. So this is the corners. So if you have, let me see, those are the shapes. There's a glare. Those are the shapes. So they have 2 companion sets that go with each cube. There's the corners and the angles. The corners is going to be probably the more popular, but at the same time, if you have the cube, the idea is that it's a companion set. It goes right along with that. And you can just do more blocks. I guess I don't have pictures of them all.
Yeah.
Okay. AccuQuilt lives in Omaha. That's right. Yes, it's been fun doing the clubs and sharing ideas. Fantastic. All right. So Quilt Show was awesome, but we're going to continue it, and it's going to be awesome for the rest of the week.
That's right.
Shop Hop.
Yes.
Somebody said she loves shirts. Yes, this was one of the cool shirts from the actual Quilt Show. This is the All Florida Shop Hop. And we brought our magazines to the show. We have, I mean, a stack left. And I don't know exactly. I'll say less than 10 magazines left. And it starts, when is March 1st? Next week?
Yeah, it's Friday.
Friday.
No. I don't think it's Friday, but it is this week.
The first Saturday of the month. So it probably is Friday. Anyway, it starts real soon. So if you didn't get a chance to get your magazine, this is your passport. So it's got all the shops in it. There's 7 patterns. And honestly, it's a cool little guide to the shops that are currently open in Florida.
Yeah, that's my favorite part.
Yeah, right. I'm excited about this. So we have some magazines and we do have the fabric still in stock.
Are you selling the shirt?
No, we didn't. I went back and forth and then I just opted. In fact, we were super late in getting them just for the staff. For us, we were like, yeah, we were kind of.
That's too bad. That's the best shirt. I like that.
I know, yellow. I don't normally wear yellow, but I kind of like it.
Yeah.
I liked it. I like this one better than last year's.
Me too.
Whoop, whoop.
Can we talk about this?
Friday is March 1st. We can, except there's only one thing that we can really talk about.
It's Saturday. No, I've got to tell you, is it what?
No, all of hers, they're all full. Except for the All About Thread lecture.
Okay, All About Thread. I will tell you that I met her. To me,
good.
this is so funny. I spent a lot of my time looking at a long arm there. And when I first got there, I was talking to one of the women that was there, and I was saying, and she was telling me all about thread and all this sort of stuff. And I said, I really don't like that thread. I'm used to something else. I've used it my whole time. Long arming, and that's really all I want to use. And she said, well, let me introduce you to somebody who can help you with that problem. So she takes me just across the aisle, and she looks around and she finds somebody. She said, I want you to talk to this woman. And so I go up to her and she introduces me, and I look at her and I said, you're Nina. I know you. You're coming to my shop.
That's awesome. Nina was great.
And so she was just a delight. I told her she was my new almost best friend. And
that's wonderful.
Because I can't replace my best friend since I was 20. But
that's fair.
but she was just delightful. And if her thread thing is still open, and if you're interested in that, join that club, join that evening. She is you will love the evening. She's
super. She's just low key. She's what
did
Tony say? Her energy is really good, and I agree with that. But she's super knowledgeable, and she's very passionate. But
and she's fun. She's not.
Well, she is fun. Yeah, she's not intense. Like it's a really cool way to learn, and she's super open to trying new things, like you are. Which is one of the things I always talk about you. If somebody comes in and say, "But I like doing it this way," you don't say that's wrong.
I may think it, but I don't say.
But you don't say it. You don't. But no, truthfully, she wants to try new things and learn from other people, and she's great.
And if you have questions, she answers them and helps gives you ideas of how to make things work. She was just delightful.
Well, and we went live. We attempted to go live. We did on Saturday, and I didn't have the mic, and I watched the video back. I encourage you, go back and listen to the video. Just kind of crank it up a notch because we didn't have mics, so it's a little hard to hear. You're in that big convention center. But we had a chance to talk with Nina. So all of her classes, the free motion, the ruler work, and the thread painting are full. Feel free to still go and click the add to wait list if you're interested, because life happens. This is not until March 21st, 22nd, and 23rd. A spot could open up, and if you're on the wait list, we will absolutely call you. Now, the All About Thread lecture, it's from 6 to 8 p.m. on March 21st. We didn't put a cap on that because we can move tables, we can move the wall, the shop is closed. I mean, we'll open it up for anybody that wants to buy stuff. You know what I'm saying? But truthfully, it's closed. So we will make room. We'll do stadium seating. I mean, so it's a lecture demo. So more than anything, it's a lecture and a conversation about thread. And that's what we talked about with Nina on the live, it's always better to have the educator describe it themselves. Right. I try my best, but
Yeah. And for the thread lecture, if you have thread or that you are confused about or not, it's not working for you, or you have a problem with it, or just questions in general, bring it with you. She'll answer your questions and help you make it work.
She literally said, go through your junk drawer, your thread drawer of that one spool of thread that you're like, I love this color, but I don't know how to use it. Bring it, and you'll know how to use it and when to use it. And there's a lot of slides. There's a lot of information. So bring notebook and some paper and everything. But it is a chance for you to have an open discussion and ask questions about anything. Even though Nina was at the Wonderfill booth, and we love Wonderfill, we sell Wonderfill, it is not a Wonderfill lecture. Okay. So, hey, we also love Aurifil. I know people like Isocort. We love Kingstar. That's a dime product. So it is a thread lecture, not a Wonderfill lecture. And that's no knock against Wonderfill, but I don't want people to,
So if you come, you'll be glad you did.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. And then we talked about that. We talked about that. We talked about that. Vote for us. By Annie always has the local quilt shop contest, lqscontest.com. If you go there, or if you're in the shop and you scan this QR code, you can vote for us for your favorite quilt shop, because
we are
favorite. But honestly, this is fun. We do it every year. We were a little late to the game, but you know what? It's just great to be involved. Anything that I can sign up for or be a part of, we do. So I'm excited. And the last thing before I start asking you some questions about classes and things that you took. Good morning, Brad. Maria, thank you. Friday is March 1st. Woo, that's crazy. Hey, Janae. Genomics. So we had before the quilt show, like right before the quilt show, which was awesome, 3 days of Sam Fung was here. He's a Genome educator. And we did all about ruler. No, what was it called? All rulers, no work. Is that right? Something. It was a ruler work class. Okay. And it was awesome. And we had people come in and use the new Genomes. We had the 9410, which is here, the 9480 with the stitch regulator, M8. And I had everybody move around so you could try ruler work with the stitch regulator and without. And honestly, it was probably 50-50 who preferred which, I know some people were like, I don't want to love it because you have to buy certain machines. And it wasn't a sales pitch to get you to upgrade to a machine with a stitch regulator. Some people did that. Congratulations. But you don't have to have a stitch regulator. This machine right here is phenomenal. You cannot put a stitch regulator on it, but it is the same size as the 9480. It has a lot of the same features. It's one of their new models. In my opinion, it's prettier.
It is a pretty machine. I was noticing it earlier.
What color do you call that? Whatever.
Bronze.
I don't know. It's pretty. But I just wanted you guys to know, because some people asked at the show, we have show specials on the machines that we used at the event.
Oh, good.
I can't tell you what they are here, but trust me when I say it's a good deal. It's a very good deal. I won't say dirt cheap, because Genomi's not cheap. It's inexpensive compared to the normal price.
Okay.
And so I just wanted to showcase this one. We don't usually carry this one in the shop, mainly because of space. We carry the 9480, which has the option for the stitch regulator, but it's quite of a jump for the price point. So it's nice to let people see that we're not just selling the high ticket items. Like we want to have a machine for everyone, and not everybody wants a stitch regulator. So if you're interested in a Genome, if you were just thinking about it, if you were at the quilt show and you saw something but you didn't pull the trigger, give me a call. That's all that is.
Okay.
Let's see. I say good morning to everybody. So what do you got for today? I know we're not doing like quilting tips and tricks.
I have no quilting tips and trips. Like I said, I was Saturday and Sunday. I was depressed because I wasn't at the quilt shop.
But you were there for 3 days. So
I was there for 3 days.
Did you take?
So the first thing I took, which was really, we've done it a couple of years in a row now, and I really like it. On Wednesday evening, they do what's called the All-Star Review, and that is where they have 8 of the women who are teaching throughout the week. They have them come in and give just a little idea of what they're teaching and what they're all about. And we always really enjoy that. I always learn something at that. It's always fun to, I've been quilting for a really long time, and I know a lot of the older teachers But seeing some of the younger teachers and some of the younger designers that are coming along is such a great opportunity, because quilting is changing, and it's fun to see how it's changing and who the change makers are. So that's a great kind of a great opportunity. It always goes from about, I think it starts at 5:30 and goes to 7.
Is there a Q&A opportunity, like to ask questions? See, that's cool.
Yeah, there is. And then they're always, they always have something that they're selling, and they're always they're always there before it starts and after it finishes, so that you have an added opportunity to talk to them about what they've spoken about. I
love that. That's really cool.
It's just fun, and it's inexpensive compared to all the other classes, and it's just a nice way to start your week or end your day at the quilt show. Yeah. The next thing I took, which I really liked, was machine applique, and that was well taught. And it kind of, the neat thing for me was, I've been wanting to teach that class for a while, and it really confirmed everything I knew, and it also added to what I could do, and how I could take what I do, which can be a little pricey, and make it easy for somebody who just really wants to try it out and see if they can do it. So I was excited about that. And
so okay, so it was hands-on.
It was hands-on. We actually I looked at mine this morning. I thought, well, it's not really ready for showing. So,
well, that's all right. I mean, yes, but so you've done applique?
Oh yeah.
Okay, I didn't know if you were big into applique. Well, yeah, I guess yeah. I've seen some of your quilts.
I do, and I do like applique, and I have not done a lot of machine applique, so it was fun to really see how that can be done, and it's not that difficult. It's you have to learn it, obviously, and you have to practice it, but it's not a difficult
it's doable. Yeah. And so doable. Does that mean you're going to offer a class here?
Yes. I'm thinking in April or May. So that's a class coming up, and I'm excited about it, because I know that there are people who want to.
Well, that's where I was going. I was fishing there, because people ask for ruler work, we got it. Free motion, we got it. And then applique is one of the ones that we haven't been able to do a class for yet. So no pressure.
Yeah, no pressure. So, and it's always, it's nice to know that you can do it by machine. I thought that when I taught it, I would also do part of it where you actually learned how to do it by hand. But so many people are just really not wanting to do things by hand these days. So it was good to really get the machine applique under my belt and know that I can teach that.
That's awesome. Real quick, by the way, Brad, love the quilt behind you. Is that a class? This quilt is phenomenal. It's not a class. Truthfully, it's 97 by 97.
It's a big quilt.
It's a big quilt. We have the pattern. If we're out of the pattern, I'm getting it again. But we do have the fabric. We weren't going to do a class on this one. This is a beast. It is absolutely stunning, by the way. And Janae, I saw your question, but I'm not going to talk to you about that on here. Yes, I have an answer for you, but I'll call you. I planned on doing it today. So applique class from Joann. No, it's a hunters. Since I'm teaching applique basics with the Easter door banner class on Thursday, it would be a great idea for Joann to follow up.
That's right.
That's Christy. And that's right. Christy, which I assume... I don't know how many of those kits we have left. Tony, you're on here. You might be able to help. If there's any spots left for the Easter door banner class, which is Thursday, let me know how many, because that would be cool if people could jump in on that, because that is some applique, and that's probably way more of a good beginner crash course. It's simple.
It is, and I think the way Christy is teaching it, you'll be able to see the stitching, which is fine. It has a very nice traditional look to it. The class I will teach you, it will look more like a hand sewn applique. It'll be cool. Pretty much invisible stitching.
Yeah, and that's a look people like. Well, people ask for applique, but there's so many different types that it was hard for us to go, well, we're not sure what kind of applique. So it's nice that sounds different than what Christy's doing.
Yeah, it is.
And they said there are spots left. So it's on the calendar, cutupandsew.com. It's a really cool Riley Blake door banner. There's 12 of them for each month. So this is the first one. I'm excited.
Okay.
And what other class did you take?
The other class I took was from Nancy Mahoney. And I love Nancy Mahoney. She just does great quilts. They're very traditional looking. Every time I take a class from her or see her, I learn something that is seems like a very simple little technique, but it changes how I do things. And she just is a great teacher and a great designer. So the class I took from her was binding and binding your quilt. And that will also be a class that'll be offered here in, just talk to Tony about it, in the not too distant future. And so the class that I'll teach, you'll be actually finishing your quilt, whether it's putting on your borders or putting on your binding. So,
well, we're just hitting binding and applique. I mean, those are like the last two big requested things.
That's
so,
right.
Well, binding is probably the most asked technique question about, and it's always something different. But nobody seems to go. I shouldn't say nobody. A lot of people seem to struggle with the binding the most. That's the one thing. And there's so many different types, and they want to find the easiest way, but they don't want it to look.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I think with both the applique and the binding, I think the techniques that I was learning during those classes were things that make them very doable. Where you're not going to dread putting your binding on, you're not going to dread the applique portion of your quilt, or you'll be ready to take that on. They were both very good techniques and will really enhance your quilting and your quilts. And
learn to do binding, because we've talked about it so many times before, like finish your quilt strong. You know what I mean? You spent all that time on it. Don't just throw it together and wrap the back, and learn to do it so that it frames your art.
It does. I mean, it finishes your quilt. And I've said this before, every step of your quilt makes your quilt better. So, looking at your fabric and choosing your fabric is one thing, and that's where you start, and then choosing your pattern, and then putting things together. And I know that when I look at my quilts, every time I look at oh wow, that looks really good, or my quilter can make that look better.
Right.
So, but the binding is just the finishing touch, and it deserves every bit of dedication to it that you've given to every other step of your quilt.
I agree. In fact, I am learning to do binding. Now, I like to take shortcuts, so I'm like, I'm going to learn the way with a serger. But I understand how important it is, and so it needs to look good. So even I am going to learn how to do that the proper way. Martha said that there are 5 spots left, or there were. I'm not sure, but Martha, thank you, and we look forward to seeing you there. That's awesome. For Christy's class.
Oh,
sorry.
Okay. That's all right.
You're like, what? Your classes are not on the calendar yet.
Okay.
That's awesome. So, I mean, were the classes full at Daytona?
Yes.
Okay.
I know that there were several classes that were not, that were still, that they were still looking for people, but everything I took was full.
Yeah. I mean, you hear people saying the attendance seemed down this year, but it was still awesome. I mean, plenty of people were there. We had an amazing time. To me, it seemed like the class, everybody I talked to had either just come from a class or was going to a class. So, I mean, what a chance to be in one place and to get so much education from really high level educators, that's awesome.
Yeah, I like that a lot. The opportunity to take classes from somebody who's been published, who really knows their craft. And it makes it really steps up my quilting experience a lot.
It steps your game up. If you take the classes, no matter what class it is, you're going to learn something.
Yeah,
100% from every single educator. Some educators have more experience than others. So, and people, like Nina's class, for example, is more expensive than some of the other classes we have. Well, that's what she does for a living. She's traveling out of state. So when you have educators that travel and come to see you, the classes are more expensive.
That's right.
That's why we do like lunch and we'll have giveaways. We try to make it, it's absolutely worth it. Yeah, absolutely. In most high level education, no matter the price, is worth it. In my opinion.
That's right. And a lot of people will say, well, I'm really having, they'll tell me, well, I'm having trouble with this and this never turns out right. And my first thought is always take a class.
Take a class.
Take a class.
That's right. Oh, by the way, Tony would have killed me. You should kill me. I forgot. Yeah, thumbs up, like, heart, share, all that good stuff. It lets people find us. Thank you. Tony, look at that. I'm slacking.
But he remembered.
Yeah, I saw somebody actually do it, and I was like, oh, fantastic. So before we jumped on, you were talking about, you were going to kind of mention, what were we talking about? We're just seeing the inspiration, seeing the quilts and letting it.
You know, there are so many quilts there, and so many that it's, I've heard a lot of people say, well, there's nothing there that I can do. And because it's all so big. And there's a lot of truth to that. I look at a lot of those quilts and think, oh my goodness, I don't know how I wouldn't even know where to start. But there are so many quilts there that are inspiring. And, it's like going to an art gallery. You go to an art gallery to see beautiful art, and you go to a quilt show to see beautiful quilts. And there are always things that are exciting and inspiring. I remember I have two favorite quilts that I saw there. One was actually wool applique that you really don't see very much of in this area.
Right.
Where I came from, it was a big thing because we had a couple of shops that really specialized, had a lot of that. But here you don't see it. But this particular wool applique was, you may have seen them already. It was a circular quilt, a circular middle design that was houses, and all in wool. But she had done her town. And so there was the library and the church, and everything that was important to her in that was all done. And, but it really drew you in. And as you looked at it, like there was one place where you saw a little cat sitting in a window, and these houses were only about this big. So they weren't very big. And so that cat was pretty small. And just the amazing thing. And just because I would probably never do that quilt, there are a lot of aspects to that I could actually take and put into my own quilts. And I think that's one of the things you want to look at is, are there things in there in the quilting? Maybe you take your quilts to be done by somebody else, but you can look at the quilting that you see there and you can think, oh, that looks really nice. I like that. I could, maybe my quilter will do that for me. Or maybe you'll see aspects of a quilt that you really like. So like when I'm looking at this quilt here, I was looking at how they made this, and I thought, oh, wow, these are just flying geese here. That makes that really simple. And so, any quilt that you look at, whether you think you could do the whole thing or not, gives you an idea, can give you ideas of what you can do and how you can change your, how you can do something a little bit different with your quilts.
Well, good morning, Tris, by the way. I go around, I didn't get as much time this year as I had planned, but if I see something that really, usually it's thread painting or something free motion related, I'll go take a picture of the whole thing, but then I'll take a picture of the up close. Parts. And then, then I literally will go home at some point, look at that picture and go, I'm trying that.
Yes.
That's how I kind of break down and learn exactly my skill set.
Yes. And those are absolutely things that you can do. Yeah. There was one quilt, and I've seen this technique before and I love it, and I've not tried it yet, but it was an amazing quilt of, I don't know, some art center, but the sky on it was done in maybe 2.5-inch squares and half square triangles. And they were all kinds of color, all kinds of fabrics that were all light blue, gray, and white. So when you looked at it, it looked like a sky, but when you looked at it up close, you see all the detail that went into it with those little squares. And I thought, oh, this is just beautiful. And I've seen that done with skies, with maybe a forest where you have lots of greenery and water. And that's just a great technique that I need to try one of these days.
Yeah, well, the color play, being able to sew all those little teeny tiny pieces, that's one skill set that is tedious, but really not that hard if it's squares, you know what I mean? But it's putting the right colors together.
Yeah.
And literally creating an image using color. And a lot of people have done that. And anytime you're seeing the portraits,
yes,
There was
Those
one
are
a few
amazing.
years ago. I don't remember which shop, but they were little teeny tiny squares on a face, and everybody talked about it. Everybody probably has a picture of it. They know
Is this the one with the little girl with the monkeys in her hair and stuff?
I don't remember the monkeys, but yeah, it was a little. Boy, it was a girl. It was just a big face. It was a portrait, but it was teeny tiny squares. It was incredible.
This
and I'm looking at it going, okay, I get it. I totally get it. Am I going to do it? No chance. No way.
But I'm so glad I saw that. That was just, those are.
Oh, I loved the cheesecloth art of Willie, the Willie Nelson.
Oh, I did not see that. And my friend told me about it, and I never went back to look at it. I heard it was great.
I'm sure there's pictures galore. Janice, I know you took some pictures. It was pretty. So it was back on the where the restrooms were on that back wall on that side. It was cool. Yeah, it was really cool. Cheesecloth.
See, this sort of conversation we should have had on Friday afternoon, so I could have gone back on Saturday.
I can go back and look. I know. There's always next year. All right. Well, I thought the show was awesome. I'm glad you took some classes and got some inspiration. Yeah. That's always the goal, right?
That's always the goal, and they do a good job.
They do. I think that's all we're talking about. I think we're done.
I have nothing else.
Oh, kids classes. I know, totally changing gears on you guys, but people have been asking about kids classes, and people are reaching out on social media asking about them. So we don't have the exact dates yet, but there's a kids summer camp in the works. We did it last year, but we're going to do it even bigger this year and offer more classes to hopefully get more young sewers excited. So basically June and July, we will have kids classes, kids summer camp, but they're individual classes. Tony, correct me if I'm wrong. Janice said she'll get you a picture, by the way. Of
great.
Willie. But it's not a week-long class. It is individual classes. So kids can take classes that they're interested in, or parents, lives. They can't. Yeah. So we did it once before where it was a full week commitment, and it seemed that it was tough. So now we've kind of broken it down to where we're just going to offer as many classes as possible. The ages, we try to stick 8 years old and up. If you know your child, but if you know your child's a little bit advanced, feel free to come in and talk to us. It doesn't have to be 8, but that usually is kind of the safe age to where kids can really understand the instructions and not put needles through their fingers and stuff. Although boys are, I'm a giant child. So okay, individual classes. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yes, kids classes are coming this week. Awesome. So they're going to be up on the calendar soon. And don't forget, if there's ever a class that you would like for your child, or if you want to do something with your child, mom and daughter, dad and daughter, whatever, give us a call, because we can create. It's getting harder. When we first started, we could create a one-on-one any day of the week, no problem. Now we have so many classes that it's tougher, but we can still make it happen. So if you don't see a class that is available to you, or the time doesn't work, just reach out. I'm sure we can figure something out. We have a slew of amazing educators and awesome people down here in Palm Coast, so we can make it happen. Yeah. So kids classes, I'm excited. Thread lecture, sign up. There's spots available. It's March 21st, 6 to 8 p.m. so that people that work like us can enjoy an evening with Nina and learn all about thread. It's going to be awesome. AccuQuilt stuff, arrow stuff, fabric, all on sale this week. Vote for us for the Buy Annie thing. We got some Janome machines that are on super duper uber sale. And I think that's it. Have an amazing week. We're back. We're going to unpack today, but we are here at the shop normal hours. I think that's it.
I think you should take the tops off all those boxes.
Just pop them open and just leave them out. That's not bad. It means we wouldn't have to put them up.
That's right. That's right.
Tony says, I'll be reaching out. Denise got me a thumbs up. I can help with those classes if needed. Oh, beautiful, Luis. Thank you. Yeah, you'd be great. Awesome. All right. Well, you guys have an amazing day, an amazing week. It was cool this morning, but it looks gorgeous out right now.
It's beautiful Florida day.
Here it is. Live to create.
Enjoy the journey.
Yes. Tony, we did it. See you guys.
Bye.